morning. I have not brushed my hair yet, but I really felt inspired to come. I want to answer this question for you. So a lot of you are asking me, how often do I meditate? What meditations do I do? So let's talk about this, because I know what you're really asking me is, what is the step-by-step that you do that's made you successful that I can do that'll make me successful? And I have a lot to say about this. So first of all, how often do I meditate? I meditate at least once a day. So, and it's typically first thing in the morning. So I wake up, I meditate, and then I go about my day. But it's not always just once a day, and it's not only just like an hour. Sometimes it's longer than that, because what meditation do I do? They're always different. I do Dr. Joe Dispenza's meditations. Yes, I have tried meditations through other people. I just don't love them as much. It's just that simple. I really love the music that he uses. I love the breath work that's in there. And so right now, that's just what I love. I've only been doing his meditations since 2019. And which ones do I do specifically? I do them all. I have most, if not all, of the meditations. And in the morning, I just wake up and I ask myself, which one do we feel like doing, right? So there isn't a one specific meditation that has like created this $1 million business, okay? It's not just one meditation, and it's certainly not just one time. Well, my hair is really looking. I probably should have brushed my hair. We'll get to that. Anyway, so here's the thing. There are days where I'm feeling like, a little salty, like a little bit salty, okay? And sometimes during those days, I'm clear that I got to check myself and I need to meditate more. And so, as I said in a previous video, the moment that you're salty, that you're angry, that you're irritated, that you're impatient, that you're frustrated, where's my meditation? This isn't happening fast enough. The moment that you're in that state, nothing wrong with that. That's just not the vibe. That's not the energy that's gonna bring your manifestation and your creation into your life faster. And I'm very clear about that. So for me, it's like, I can be mad, I can be angry, I can be sad. Again, nothing wrong with that. I'm just clear that if I'm that, I'm not the energy of my future. And I would rather be the energy of my future. So in that knowingness, it's a lot easier for me to be like, okay, Kyra, I feel like we need to go and do a little breath work, because like this, we got to take the salt level down a little bit, okay? So sometimes I meditate 3 times a day. It's not one time. And what you're going to notice is that, and by the way, you can be incredibly successful doing meditations that are not Joe Dispenza's. So this isn't about being like committed to just this one person. This is just what happens to work for me. This is what I resonate with. I experiment with other things, and I keep finding myself going back to this because it's aligned for me. And so the reason I'm sharing this with you is because one of the major things that has taken me from debt to creating a 7-figure business and doing the things that I get to do now in my life is listening to my intuition. There are things that my intuition have guided me to do that have made no sense logically, but made all the sense to my senses. And so in the process of creating change, in the process of going from debt to 7 figures, it's not that I'm just meditating every day. It's not that I'm just doing breath work every day. It's not even that I just go to Joe Dispenza events. It's not just that. That's a small part of it. It's that when I come out of that meditation and my eyes are open and I'm moving through my day, there are things that my intuition is guiding me to do. The question is, can I do those things that are in alignment with the future that I want to create, or is the old self that is used to the way things are going to continue to run the show? And that is why meditation is so important. So if meditation is to become familiar with, when I sat down, especially in the beginning of this journey, when I would sit down to do a meditation, I was becoming familiar with the future that I desired to experience that I was not yet in the experience of in the 3D world. And so the more that I became familiar with that in my meditations, and the more that I practiced becoming familiar with that with my eyes open, the faster that actually started to come into my life. And since 2019, when I really got into this work, I have invested multiple six figures into mentorship. So I share that because I have had support in creating this life. I always tell people, when left to your own devices, you're probably like screwed. It's not gonna be good. Because it's like, where has that gotten you? This is why I really believe in the power of mentorship, right? And so for me, this is also something I've done, because there are those days in my journey where I've struggled to get out of my own way. And when I'm working with somebody that is ahead of me and they're living the life that I want to live, that allows me to be in that energy of them and to surround yourself with people who are up to big things, who are doing what you desire to do in life. For me, that has been a non-negotiable, because if you surround yourself with the people that are not up to big things and they don't have a vision for themselves, that's fine, free will, there's nothing wrong with that, but that energy is not likely to support where you're growing, okay? Where you're growing and where you're going. And so there's a lot of things in between, hey, I've just meditated, that I'm doing that has supported this life. And so there were so many times where when I was making an investment into private mentorship, like there's that thought in the back of my head going, this is like a mortgage. This doesn't make sense. But again, everything that I've done to create the success that I've created came from listening to my intuition. It didn't make sense logically, but it made all the sense to my senses. And so this is also a massive process of trusting yourself as you are evolving, trusting yourself as you're clear on your vision and you're receiving guidance of what to do next. And that has been one of the biggest key components in moving myself out of debt to creating a 7-figure business. But you have to understand the intuitive part of it is so important, because in this work, there is no one size fits all. So there's things that you can do that I've done that will make a difference for you, but you're gonna have intuitive guidance that I might not have. And it's gonna be up to you to honor that guidance. So this is why I say, even in private mentorship with my clients, like when I have a person that signs up to work with me and they're in private mentorship, I'm not like, okay, Lisa, here's the shoe. It's not a one size fits all. And so each person has a different desire, a different need, and being able to actually look at where they're at and where they want to go, and then what it's going to take for them to actually have the support to get there. There are things that we can do that are similar, but inside of that, there's also going to be a lot of things that are different, because this person's different, I'm different, you're different. Everyone in their own right has a different, unique, energetic blueprint. And so discovering what's in alignment with that is what's going to create the success. And so this is why I also want you to understand that it's like, you don't have to go to a Dr. Joe Dispenza event before you can create results in your life. I think a lot of people are concerned about that, where it's like, oh, if I don't get to an event, this isn't going to happen for me. That's not true at all. I started generating results in my life prior to ever going to one of his events, but I was doing the work every single day, putting myself in the experience of my future self ahead of it actually being manifested in 3D in real life, where I could hold it, I have it, it's here. And so these are the things that I was doing and do to this day that have made a difference for me. So how often do I meditate? How frequently? I meditate every single day. Sometimes it's once a day. It tends to usually be more than that, because I just love it at this point. I also, like I said, I do breath work. Which specific meditations do? I do them all. I wake up in the morning and I go, which one do I want to do today? What feels really fun for me? What feels really good? So the other thing I said the other day was that if you stop having fun with this process, it's just going to take a little bit more time. The whole idea to this is that you're having fun. And I'm just looking at my dog who's scratching himself. Hi, Bubba. He's so cute. What else did you ask me? I don't know. That's all I have for now. That's all I have for now. Do whatever meditation you want. Do it as often as you think you need to do it. When you're feeling like, a little salty and you need to check the attitude, you might need to meditate again. You might be like, okay, I meditated already today, but I need to go check myself and have a moment, okay? So it's gonna be up to you to decide what you need, to honor your intuition, to catch yourself. Here's the thing, let me say this one more time. You feeling angry is not bad. You feeling upset or frustrated or sad, it's not a bad thing. Your feelings are your feelings and they're valid. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just clear that if I'm feeling frustrated instead of abundant, pissed off instead of grateful, sad instead of happy, these emotions have a lower frequency. They just don't feel as good and they're not connected with the vision of my future. So if I'm feeling this way, I've disconnected from what it is that I want to create. And I would rather move through these feelings very quickly. I'm not saying stuff them down, ignore them. I acknowledge them, I honor them, and then I'm done. I find that self-regulating is a skill set, and it's something that we can all learn to do quickly. It's not about bypassing your feelings, bypassing your emotions. It's not that your emotions are bad. It's just that what you're thinking and feeling is either connected to the vision of your future or it's not. And you have a choice in what it is that you're gonna actually give your time and attention to. So you can do whatever meditation you want. I know that takes a little bit of like, woo, a little bit of pressure off. You can do whatever meditation you want. It doesn't have to be a Dr. Joe meditation. I just love his meditations and I love the music, but you don't have to do that. Remember, this is about you listening to your intuition and discovering what actually feels really good for you, what feels really fun for you, what's in alignment for you, what's gonna get you out of your head and into your heart. So you have to listen to your intuition. And how frequently you do it, that's up to you. I do it all the time. At minimum 1 time a day, but it's rare that it's only once a day. So have fun with this.